of the sun. To dream, believe in strength. Now I'm the only one, only one. I was an ordinary boy until I broke the rules. My life destroyed, life destroyed.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Of course, we have a very special guest. We have Corey Mikulo's grandmother, who is coming up, and we are going to talk about the appellate process that unfortunately her family is going through right now. Mindy, thank you so much for becoming a new YouTube member. Boy, Mama, what is going on? I love that. When I say boy, Mama, I want to go, boy, Mama, you're here. There's Poppy. There's Gaelic. By the way, if you missed this morning's show, check it out, because I'm telling you right now, Gaelic knocked it out of the park. So Rebecca and I have been talking quite a bit about the similarities between the Adam Montgomery and Christopher Gregory case. Now, obviously, they are not parallel, but the similarities come from child abuse led to the unthinkable. Obviously, they're totally different cases. Now, Adam has won his appeal. Not that his ass did anything special, okay? The appellate court in New Hampshire looked through his trial, and they said there was a technicality because they did not separate certain things. Christopher Gregory is up for an appeal, but it's sealed in New Jersey. And I'm sure there's a lot of reasons for that, and it could have to do with some incompetence by the CPS system in New Jersey, because there's some things going on there. So before we get to it, I want to ask everyone to please welcome your neighbor. And I just want everyone to know these are passion projects for me. There is zero drama in this, okay? Nothing can be more dramatic than what has happened to Harmony Montgomery and what has happened to little Corey. I always say it's only drama if you're dramatic about something really small. But you know what I mean. There are certain cases. Who the hell is messaging me? This is crazy. I got to turn my phone off. That is so rude. It's only drama if you're being dramatic. Okay? And nothing could be more tragic than the loss of your child, your grandchild, or anything like that. Angel P said, so rude. Yeah, I'm going to find out who it is. I don't know what the hell is going on. Give me a second. Speaking of being dramatic, the fuck? Oh, never mind. It was Rebecca. Ha! That's okay. Okay, so without further ado, let's please bring up our special guest, Rebecca. Well, hello, girlfriend. How are you doing? Now, do you have a black cat?
I don't.
Would you like one?
No.
Okay.
I have a cat, but he's not black. And I was recently feeding what I thought was a stray cat. It turned out it was a raccoon. I saw it on my Ring camera. So,
You're welcome.
but yeah.
Okay. Well, before we get to things that are very disturbing, let me show you another little scoundrel that has taken over Angel P's bed.
Oh, Bernie loves his choo-choo mother. Oh, it's so good. Oh my goodness. Oh, you got all of it. Timon get Kalki. Bruno get a choo-choo-choo-choo-choo-choo-choo-choo. Was it good, honey? They go away. He ate all of it, mother.
Is that not cute?
Oh, definitely.
Do you think maybe her dog is a little spoiled?
Just maybe a tiny bit.
Okay. Yeah, he has daddy bones, he has choo-choos, and when you're on the phone with her and the chewy box comes, I think he recognizes the sound of the truck.
Oh my God.
I mean, true story. I think he does. It's wild AF. Okay, so first we're going to start with Harmony. And I want Rebecca to say to everyone what she thinks the similarities are between Christopher Gregor and Adam Montgomery. I'm going to go ahead and say they're both fucking scumbags, but you go ahead.
Unfortunately, I didn't have a lot of time to follow other cases because we were living through our own.
Makes sense.
I feel like, first of all, like you said, they're both scumbags. I mean, that's a very similar trait they share. I think they're both in serious denial. And I think the current situation with Adam Montgomery's case could be it could happen in Chris Gregor's case. And that's a fear that I live with every day.
Well, the thing about Adam Montgomery, I will say he's not going to get out of jail because he has so many gun charges on him. Even if the jury finds him not guilty of killing Harmony, he's still in for the rest of his natural life. I mean,
that's good news.
Okay. With Christopher, though, that's a totally different story because he has, the charge, and if they have to separate it, they have to separate it. I haven't found where New Jersey can up it with a new trial if that is what they're doing. And I want everyone to know Christopher's appeal is sealed. Okay, so we don't know what it's about. No one knows except for the appellate court and his attorneys. It just seems very coincidental to me that it kind of came on the heels of Adam Montgomery.
Right. And, my concern is, these cases that were public, I feel like sometimes the court system tries to follow, the lead of what another case, like whatever. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, oh, okay, well, this is what they did in this case, so we better do that, or people are going to question.
Exactly right. They always stand on the shoulders of another attorney that got through the court system some other way.
Right.
Exactly. Like why they always state case law. And they're like, but this happened. Hell, it could be 1923. And they're like, okay. And that's what they do. So before we get to it, let's take a second to remember Harmony. Oh, is Walking Dead in here? Are you serious? Is Jocelyn in here? I missed her. Okay. So those are very hard pictures to see because as we know, Harmony has never been found. Adam will not say where she's at. My fear with the case of Harmony is that they might get him to crack in order to avoid first-degree murder because there's new evidence. And I don't know if Rebecca knows this. Adam had to be moved from a men's penitentiary in New Hampshire down to Virginia for his own safety. Okay, a bunch of dudes pooped in his toilet. They held his head in it and they used a plunger on him. He was in the infirmary. He was taken to a hospital. He had to be treated. They had all kinds of cotton balls and everything in his butthole. And then from there, they had to take him to Virginia for his safety.
Why protect him?
My goodness, I don't know.
Should have left him there and let him get what was coming to him.
Well, I'll tell you what, but prisoners have a little bit of rights because there's always that little bit of things saying they may not have done it. So
a lot of rights, it seems.
I didn't lose any sleep over it. I'm going to tell you right now, I didn't.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
V. Oakley loves coming in and putting up plunger emojis about Adam, and I'm like, never can put you on a jury, can we? I thought Mindy was in here. Can someone wake up Mindy? My goodness. All right, so we're going to start with Harmony, and then we're going to go to Corey, and we're going to go through the similarities. And you're going to find a lot of narcissism, controlling behavior over women and kids. Because remember, when they got Teardrop out of the car, he had a woman in there drugged up and sleeping, who, by the way, is dead now. He has nothing to do with it. It's just part of his influence.
What's going on? What's your name, my man? Why? Adam. What's wrong?
If you guys can get like 10 people to come in here and watch this, I will buy you a Coors Banquet t-shirt. They give these out at the fair in Oklahoma. They do. Okay, Mindy's here. Thank goodness.
Is 31-year-old father of 3, Adam Montgomery. A few days earlier, his ex-wife Crystal contacted police desperate for help. She couldn't reach their 7.
Okay, Okay, and she's a piece of shit, so we're not going to worry about Crystal.
I'm under arrest. You guys can arrest me. I'm not saying you're under arrest. Okay, I have nothing to say then. You just don't care how your daughter. I do. Obviously, I do. My kid. Yeah. About all my kids. Yeah, but other than that, I have nothing. I remember you talking to me about it at the Elliott because when you were up there, you don't remember me, John. Yeah, I do remember. You do? Yeah. Okay. So I was there to help you out then. I know. I want to make sure you're doing okay. I know you do. I know you will. And I have a job to do. Like I said, you're not in trouble. I'm telling you right now, you're not in trouble. Okay. I care about how your kids are doing. Okay. My job is to check on kids. Right? John, I appreciate that. I told you. I remember you come up there. I don't have nothing else to say. So why are you so hesitant to tell me where she is? Are you worried about her mom and like what she's trying to do? Yeah, and I'm just not going to say anything else. Last time I said anything to the police, he came back, tried to stop me. I'm not saying nothing. But here's the thing: you have custody of her, right? Right. So what would you be doing wrong if you have custody of her and she's in a safe place? You know what I mean? So you didn't do anything wrong. If you're telling me that she's in your custody, there's paperwork that says she's supposed to be in your custody, right? She's not.
She's supposed to be, but you're living in a car with Kelsey Smalls in a Coors Banquet t-shirt. I know what every moderator is getting for Christmas this year. Speaking of moderators, we have a brand new moderator, Janica. She should have been one a long time ago. And if somebody could make Mindy a moderator, that would be great. That would be great. Thank you so much.
It's supposed to be in mom's custody, right? Can't be in mom's custody. She's not in mom's custody. And she's not accusing you of doing anything wrong, but she's worried about her daughter. So how you guys work that out in court is up to you guys. But like I said, you have custody of her. You didn't do anything wrong because you have custody of her. So I just need to know that she's okay. If she's okay, I can say, hey, DCYF. She's fine. Like, we know where she is. We check on her. Cool. Like, that's the end of it. And I don't have to bother you anymore. You and your girl can go on your way as long as I know where she is and she's safe. That's all I really care about. I have nothing else to say, John. Like, that's it.
From the start, Adam keeps his guard up, refusing to cooperate with the officers, even though the situation concerns his daughter's safety. This immediately raises concerns among the officers, who just want to ensure that Harmony is okay. Adam, however, insists that he's certain she is perfectly safe.
Okay. After this encounter, Adam tried to take off. Okay? Adam tried to take off. However, they got a warrant signed by a judge and they found him. And he was detained and they did an interrogation. That's exactly what happened. And they put him behind bars on a lesser charge. Any similarities you're seeing here, Rebecca?
You know, this brings me back to, I don't know if you remember when Chris Greger was caught in Tennessee after he left Corey in the hospital. And just the way this guy, Adam, is standing and his whole demeanor, it just has Chris Greger written all over it.
Mm-hmm. And what was very odd to me is that they wouldn't present any sort of psychological exam for Adam because that would have buried him even further.
Right.
Other people have talked about it, just on YouTube, behavioral profilists, Dr. Grande, stuff like that. And they will say things like, he's a narcissist. He's ODD. He has a control issue. And what really irritates me is how any judge would allow somebody with the temperament of Christopher Greger or Adam Montgomery, especially with past relationships where they have abused children, or like Teardrop, that shot a guy in the face and think they're safe to have a child.
Right.
Can you assure me that your daughter's okay? Yeah. Do you know where she is? Yeah. Okay. Is she with family? Can you just answer me? I'm done answering the question. If you want to arrest me, Adam, John, come on, Adam. I got nothing else to say. I'm not trying to arrest you. Did I tell you I was trying to arrest you? No, you didn't. But if you're trying to, all right. But I have nothing else to say. So if you're gonna arrest me after that, then arrest me. I'm not, man. I'm just trying to check on your kid. That's all I'm trying to do. All right. If you tell me she's with family or she's with like my mom, my dad, she's down in Florida, like all I need to know is that, and you're on your way, man. I just need to know she's okay.
All right, not to open up a scab, but did Christopher Gregor lie?
Did he lie?
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you.
When he opened his mouth.
How about this? When did he not lie? That's what I kept saying. Just
Right.
tell the jury when Adam didn't lie, and things will be much easier.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm not saying I'm going to take her and bring her to your ex. I'm not saying that. I just want to make sure she's okay. I promise you that. I know. All right. Well, like I will shake your hand and tell you that, man to man, that is what I'm trying to do is make sure your daughter's okay. I know your other kids are okay because I was over talking to Kayla. Yeah, I know. And your kids are okay, man. I know they are. They're running around like wild animals, but they're okay. But like Harmony, I don't know where she is. Mom's concerned. DCYF is concerned. If you can get DCYF your back, wouldn't you want to do that? Like, do you want DCYF trying to track you down? I mean, I'll deal with DCYF, man. Like, I don't. But they're gonna ask you the same thing.
He manipulated DCYF for 2 years. And obviously, they're easy to manipulate. We have time after time after time after time. And what it comes down to is slip through the cracks.
Yeah.
Slip through the cracks. But I have the paperwork. Oh, really? He said, I'll just deal with them. He doesn't want to deal with the detective, does he now? He'd rather deal with the social worker because he knows they're there to smile, check on hot water, and just make sure there's some food in the cabinet. And that's about the end of it.
Pretty much.
It's a bass-ackward system. And it pisses me off to no end. The first thing that needs to happen when a child is in danger is 911. You assign a detective to it, and then you involve a social worker. They are not law enforcement. Now, I do understand when calls are made and they see something and they throw it on a detective's desk and they say, okay, here we go. Let's do something about this. And a lot of social workers, because they have another, and I'm not picking on social workers. I'm not. But I know we have 3 or 4 in Oklahoma right now that are hot under fire that saw things that they should not have ignored, and they should have called 911 right there. For one, they had 4, 5 more appointments. And they wanted to get to them for their damn Christmas bonus.
Yeah. I know, and around here, I don't know how it is everywhere, but some of the people that work for DCP&P here aren't even social workers. I mean, they're retired blackjack dealers, car salesmen. They don't even have a degree in social work, and they're going to make decisions regarding our children. And look where that gets you. My grandson
got Harmony.
Yep, exactly.
Look where it got Harmony. The interstate compact killed her because there wasn't one between Massachusetts and New Hampshire.
You want to keep dealing with them? Whatever. I know you want to go, but I just want to figure out.
I take that back. Adam killed her. Adam killed her. Okay? I shouldn't say that the law killed her. But let's face it, criminals don't follow the law. They just don't. By the way, we have 37 people in here. There better be 37 likes. I know these shows are very tough for people to listen to. And if anyone wants to come out of the bushes and say, hola, we are here to chat, because I am on my soapbox today.
Your daughters. Why is that such a hard thing for you? All right, so can we, if we're going, we're going. Like, if not, I have nothing else to say to them. And you say you're under arrest, man. All right, so I have nothing else to say. So you don't want to tell us where your daughter's at? I have nothing else to say to them. That's it. It's a yes or no thing. You don't want to tell us where your daughter's at? I have nothing else to say, John. I'm under arrest. I'm under arrest. But God, I'd like to go.
But just from our perspective, my man, it just seems a little strange that you don't want to tell us where she is.
All right, I got nothing else to say to you guys.
Don't
she
you
hurt? No. Okay. So she's alive. What? Your daughter's alive? Yeah. You're sure? I'm positive. You're like, swear on your life. I swear on my life.
He knew she was dead. He also knew that he killed her because when he punched her in the face 3 blows when they were at the Burger King, people asked, why were they at the Burger King? Why were they living in the car? Because they had money coming in from food stamps for 3 kids and Harmony's disability, which happens to be her eyesight. Okay? They would eat at Burger King all the time because Burger King takes food stamps. Okay? He hit her that many times. She moaned. She died. They put her in an Under Armour bag and put her in the trunk. They were so concerned. It reminds me of Christopher Greger texting the girlfriend, wanting to come over and hang out, knowing that his son was physically hurt next to him. Anything you want to add to that, Rebecca?
He was worried about what pizza they were going to eat and what they were going to do as Corey's right next to him dying on the couch.
You know what they were worried about? Teardrop and step meth?
Not sure, but obviously not the child.
Ketchup.
Wow.
They needed more ketchup for their tater rounds.
Wow.
That's what they were worried about. Nobody was worried about getting Harmony help. And he flat out said to Stepmeth, Kayla Montgomery, I did something that time. Well, nobody actually knows what he did except for the fact that she's gone. They can't examine a body because he got a saw and put her into a maternity bag. Jules said, sick effers, for sure. Could you imagine? Little girl back there dying and you need more ketchup?
Unbelievable.
You got Christopher Greger, his son, and he's trying to get laid and order pizza.
Yep.
They're way more similar than you even know.
When's the last time you saw her alive? You know that she's fine. Like, you can assure me that she's alive. I know she's fine. All right, look, I have nothing else to say, guys. I really don't. I have nothing else to say to you guys. But you can tell me, like, Dad, you can look me right in the eye and tell me that she's alive. She's alive. You know for a fact. I have nothing else to say. Okay. And when's the last time you saw her alive? All right, I have nothing else to say.
But Adam, with that question, you see where our concern is at. You get what I'm saying?
Nobody has seen her in like 2 years, they're saying. like alive. Like I talked to your family. Nobody's even seen her either. Your family. I know they're all down in Florida. They're concerned too, man. Like I talked to like your brother, talked to your uncle, grandma. We talked to a lot of people, man. I'm not just around and just like, all right. So like you understand, like people stopped you, like they had us come out from the office, like, all right. Like I need to know that you saw your daughter alive recently. Did you see her? Have you seen her last?
Jules said, "This infuriates me. I can't stand any of them, including Minnie Mouse herself." Actually, Jules gave her a different name. It's called Methy Mouse, and I can't get it out of my brain. Mindy said, "Cops so worried she's dead right now." No, Mindy, they knew. They knew. Because before they found his rat ass in the Walmart parking lot with another woman sleeping in the car, they had already interviewed many other people saying they had not seen her since 2019. They already knew.
Recently. Why not? You're her dad. You love the kids, right? Yeah. So why didn't you see your kid? I haven't been around here, man. I've been in Maine.
In October 2019, police recorded their last documented sighting of Harmony during contact with the family at a residence in Manchester. A month later, in November 2019, the Montgomery family was evicted from their home. At this point, Harmony was 5 years old, and the entire family began living in their car. A few months later, in January 2020, Child Services visited the family for the final time. But when they arrived at the small apartment, they found no signs of Harmony. Adam told them that he dropped his daughter off at Crystal's place, and that she was now living with her. When they called Crystal to confirm, she didn't answer. For the next 2 years, Harmony's situation continued to drag on, but Child Services still failed to respond properly. Now, after about 20 minutes of going back and forth,
Failed system. You know why? Because social workers come before the police. It was not that way when I was growing up. I will never forget, there was a pair of twins when I was going to school, 5th grade, boy and girl. And their crazy ass mother showed up who was not supposed to see them. She had been cut out of everything. She tried to pull them out of school. School secretary called the police and they arrested her on site. They took the kids to their grandparents and it was a police investigation. From there, DHS in Oklahoma made sure the kids were getting proper education, stuff like that. No. Unless you've been to the police academy, stay the F out of it. I'm sorry, Rebecca, that's just my opinion.
Now, this went on for 2 years. They hadn't been able to make contact. And so they just went on to the next case that was on their desk. I don't get it.
Yep.
2 years?
Yep. I mean, the governor's report, Chris Sununu, I mean, he did an entire well, I can't say he typed it up. Governor's report of what went wrong. And of course, it came back to Adam, Crystal, and the Child Protective Services in New Hampshire and in Massachusetts. That's what it came down to.
Yeah.
That's what it came down to. And I will say right now, Harmony was failed by everyone. Everyone. Her grandparents weren't looking for her. They just believed everything Adam said. They didn't want him in more trouble since he was on probation. And of course, they were scared of him. Crystal's all freaking strung out wherever she is. You know, her son Jameson was getting adopted by Blair and Jonathan Miller. And it was Jameson that sounded the alarms because they kept calling whoever they could get a hold of saying, hey, listen, he just wants to have a play date with his sister. That's all he wants. That's all he wants. Now, here's the kicker. Blair and Jonathan wanted to adopt Harmony. So did her foster family. Adam gets out of jail, and they're like, no, we have to reunify them. That's what we have to do. And that is our recommendation. Are you effing kidding me? And that social worker put that right in front of that judge, and he signed off on it, and it was done and over.
Wow.
It took about maybe a week for Adam to start getting all of her money.
Wow.
And you know what he did with it? Bought drugs.
Forth with the cops, Adam finally tells them where his daughter is supposed to be.
So she's supposed to be with Crystal. Yeah. So if she's supposed to be with Crystal, where? Help me out. If Crystal screwed up, I need to know that. I don't know. I can't say nothing else. I have no idea. And you guys, the way you guys rolled up here on me, no, I don't. You have a past, okay? Okay. And like I'm not judging you because I've met you before. But I've been out of trouble for years. Right. But other people don't know that. Okay.
Like I told you, man, I didn't know you. You know, I've never met you before.
All right, look, John, I got something else to say, man. But if she's supposed to be with Crystal, I need some ideas of like what Crystal did to you. You're telling me that you didn't. You're telling me she's fine, right? That's what you told me. Yep. Okay. You said that you've seen her somewhat recently. I guess. You know that she's not dead. I got nothing else to say, man. Are we going? Am I under arrest? Dude, how many times are you gonna ask that? Well, come on, John, because I want to go. Go talk to Crystal. I did talk to her. Go talk to her again. You know what I mean? Like, dude, if somebody said, I haven't seen a kid in 2 years, would you understand why I would be concerned? Of course I would. Absolutely I would. But you know what I mean? After that, I don't know what to say after that though. But if you know she's alive and you've seen her recently or like sometime recently, like maybe not like in the last month or two, like dude, I just want to know that she's okay, man. It's like I didn't sleep at all last night knowing that like I could have a kid that's like dead. Go.
All right, we have some new members coming in. I wonder who got it. I wonder who did. Little, break in the tragedy.
Talk to Crystal. Why would Crystal know where she's at and not tell me that? Why would she blame you? Or not blame you, but like say you're supposed to have that. Why would she say that? To me, it just doesn't make sense. I don't know. I know I lost my house a few years ago. Which house? On Guilford Street. Okay.
He did. You know why? Because he didn't go to work and he was taking all the government money to buy drugs. That's exactly what happened. Now, I don't know what made Christopher Gregor so damn mean. Rebecca can shed some more light on that because I don't know.
Yeah, I can only think that it was his father's, I think, his dad didn't accept anything but the best. You weren't allowed to fail. You had to give 110%, and Chris just couldn't keep up.
Not quite sure what's going on there because there is nothing wrong with Corey. You would think they would be elated. You would think they would say, you have a son now. I'm very proud of you. I'm so proud of you for doing the right thing.
Oh yeah, no, Corey wasn't conceived, and it wasn't the way they imagined having their first grandchild. So it was a bit of a disappointment to them.
Well, my goodness. So bad. I mean, no child asks to be on this planet. They don't. You just cherish them and you do whatever you can do. What I like to do is when I see my granddaughter is get her as hyped up as possible to make it hell on my son and daughter-in-law. And then they have to take a little bit of time to get her asleep because she is hilarious. She's the coolest chick I know.
All right.
2 years ago, around Thanksgiving when he lost the house, Crystal allegedly came by.
Help us think of where she might be. Don't you want to know where she is just as much as I want to know where she's doing? Like you should care more than I should.
I do.
It's your kid.
It's my kid. I know.
Right. So that's why I'm like, dude, you're not really showing that you care too much, or you just know something you just don't tell me.
No, it's not that. It's just
dude, if my kid was missing 2 years, like I'd be the first one to start kicking doors down. And I think if you knew somebody hurt your kid, you'd be ripping their head up.
Right. That's why I'm saying, like, up until right now, I had no idea she was missing. So that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah, it just doesn't make sense to anybody. Like, my mind is exploding.
So far, officers don't discover anything about Harmony's whereabouts. Adam keeps pointing at Crystal, and she points at him, making both appear.
Guardrail, they don't do that. For a second-degree assault charge.
Again, you understand what the charges are, right?
Second-degree assault, right?
Yep.
Okay.
There's also an endangering the welfare charge.
Okay.
And interference with custody. Okay,
So how did I interfere with custody?
so that paperwork that we served you the other day, remember that?
Okay.
When they were in the alleyway, remember outside of on Lake Ave?
Yeah.
There's paperwork that you have to comply with.
Oh, they did. They followed him to a bar when he was buying cigarettes. And they sat down and they just kept watching him. And they were waiting on the call from the judge to say that they could go ahead and arrest him. And, oh, yeah, they did. I mean, they followed him all the way down the street. He kept saying, this is intimidation. You can't do that to me. This, and that. And they were just like, look, man, I can walk down the street too. He goes, but you're following me. Hey, we could be going the same place, bud. I don't know. Now, obviously, Christopher Gregor's case is totally different because Corey's in the hospital. You've got doctors and nurses trying to take care of him, and he flees the state.
Right.
So with Corey, at that point, the police didn't know what was going on.
Nope.
But you are seeing some similarities because you're the one that you brought it up to me.
Yeah, there's several.
What would you think, and if you don't want to talk about it, that's me, I get it. What do you think the first one is?
Just their demeanor, their denial, always blaming somebody else. Like you see how Adam quickly, changed I didn't even know my daughter was missing until right now. And, then he starts to blame Crystal, I guess, is that her name? And,
Yeah.
always it's somebody else. It's never him. He's not wrong. And Chris is the same way, very much like that.
And the thing is, there was absolutely zero issue when his grandmother was taking care of Harmony. It's when the grandmother moved, that's when Harmony was forced to take care of babies, scrub the toilet with a toothbrush. And she was like made to be an adult all of a sudden. And when the grandma came back to her own house to get her stuff, he was so violent, they called the police. Her and her son, who's his uncle. Okay. And it was a train wreck. Something should have been done there.
Right.
But they fled. They were gone. They were gone.
You understand that, right? We had that conversation, did we not? Right? So that's what that's all about.
So secondary assault charge, what is this referring to?
Well, that's what we want to talk to you about.
Explain to me what, if I'm being charged with it, what am I being charged with it for?
Well, your daughter had some injuries
But
that you know about when you lived on Guilford Street.
no, I do not. What are you referring to?
Well, you were there, I wasn't, right?
What are you referring to?
I'm referring to her having some good marks.
What are you referring to?
Marks that were left on her by you.
Absolutely not. I have nothing else to say.
He seems clueless about the alleged assault. He doesn't realize that his him to the police after he confessed to assaulting Harmony and giving her a black eye for what he called bad behavior. Just a couple of days ago, police even offered a reward for finding his daughter.
Yeah, not
Because we care, man. We want to know.
This isn't gonna go anywhere. Like, this isn't gonna.
Okay, so what good is Child Protective Services if they don't do their job? If every child is a piece of paper that leads to murder, and now you're living a nightmare, and here we are. Now they're in the appellate system. Christopher Greger and Adam Montgomery.
Right.
And it truly is a technicality. They didn't separate. I can't speak for Christopher Greger, and I will never understand why his appeal is sealed. I'm just going to guess it's the same thing.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Mindy said policy on missing children on your caseload. Why is there a policy on missing children? There should be zero policy. That should be up for a detective to find a missing child. I'm so confused.
I don't even know what that means, honestly.
I don't either.
Right now, all I'm trying to do is help your daughter. I want to bring her home, and I can't do that without your help. Dude, I can't do that without your help. Help, hey, can you look at me? Help me, please. That's all I'm asking for. I can't sleep until I know that she's okay. And I know that you know where she is or what happened to her, but I can't do it without your help. And if you don't.
Mindy said because you have to see the child assigned to you.
But if you don't, then what? You just go home and pack up your lunchbox for the day and say, oh, maybe tomorrow the kid will be dead by then. That's the problem.
Exactly what happened to Summer Wells. The woman was there to see Summer. You know how I know that? Common sense. Because Josie, Waylon, and Wyatt were left alone on the 15th. Summer was taken out and about. And then she disappeared that day.
Right.
If you can't make contact with the child, then call 911.
Right. You don't pack it up for the day and revisit next week or the next day. 10 minutes later, it could be too late. I mean, you're there to do a job.
It happened in the Susan case. That poor woman, she trusted Josh Powell. He locked the door. She did the exact right thing. She called 911, and by the time they got there, OMG, he killed the kids and he blew up the house. Police should always be involved. Every time. There is no way they shouldn't. A college degree means nothing next to a trained detective. I'm sorry, that's my opinion, Rebecca, and I'm not picking on any social worker because I know they're trying to do their job through red tape and bureaucracy. But it doesn't make you feel better, does it?
No, and not when I hear there's policies in place, but they're not being enforced. If the policy is the social worker, and I don't want to call them that because they're not all social workers, but if the policy is that the worker that's sent out has to make contact with the child and they don't, then you make a phone call. You don't go home for the day or on to your next case. You make a phone call. I can't make contact with this child. Send me the police. Let's do this. I mean, that's what you have to do. And 3 fucking attempts? Are you kidding me?
Now, who has to make 3 attempts? The social worker? She said, contact law enforcement, use postal office. I wouldn't do it. I would just flat out say I did it. And I would just call and been like, I've been trying and trying. They're not going to put you in jail for saving a child. That's insane.
I don't want to look like the animal because I don't think you are. Not that I don't think you are. I know you aren't. But I can only do so much.
By the way, I love the good cop, bad cop stuff. I do. I love it. I do. Hey, look, yeah. I know you're not a monster. Of course they know what he is. They already know what's going on. They're detectives.
Much for you, man.
I know.
I'm begging you to help me because as much as you're hurting inside, I'm also hurting inside, and I don't know how you can sleep at night because I'm sure it's eating the out of you. Am I wrong?
No, see, me and Pops, I know I'm not seeing my wife, I'm not seeing my kids, you guys are just playing games, like this is just...
Dude, but I'm not trying.
I'm not trying to play games. You think, guys?
Hey, can you make me a promise? Like, man to man? Can you tell me that she's alive?
You're gonna play the same word games that you played with me the other day?
It's not word games.
I got nothing else.
Because we care, man. We want to know.
This isn't gonna go anywhere. Like, this isn't gonna stop. So
No, it's not.
So
So
either get on the bus now or get run over.
I got nothing else to say.
Following this, Adam requests his lawyer and the interview ends. For now, he will remain in custody, but it won't be for long because the detectives still haven't charged.
Your help. Help. Hey, can you look at me? Help me. Please. That's all I'm asking for. I can't sleep until I know that she's okay. And I know that you know where she is or what happened to her, but I can't do it without your help. And if you don't want to look like the animal, because I don't think you are. Not that I don't think you are, I know you aren't. But I can only do so much for you, man.
I know.
I'm begging you to help me. Because as much as you're hurting inside, I'm also hurting inside. And I don't know how you can sleep at night because I'm sure it's eating the out of you. Am I wrong?
No, see, me and Pops, I know I'm not seeing my wife, I'm not seeing my kids, you guys.
It's about him. It's about him. No, I miss seeing my wife. I miss seeing my kids. And the detective says, get on the bus or you're going to get run over. All right, so now we're going to get to the second segment of the show. And this is about Corey. Now, this is being done with permission by his grandma. Can everyone please give her a little round of applause and some internet hugs? Okay, so Rebecca, do you need to go to the bathroom or anything?
No, I'm good.
Are you sure?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, so we're going to go through some things from the trial that raised not just my eyebrows, but everyone's. And I was a little shocked that Rebecca wasn't allowed to testify. And she wasn't allowed to watch a trial. She wasn't allowed to be in there. Are you okay, honey?
Mm-hmm. I'm fine.
All right, I'm going to drop the link if anybody wants to come up and give some well wishes to Rebecca. Now, there was one bastard that took the stand that Shannon and I saw at CrimeCon. Remember when I sent you the message and I'm like, oh, that piece of shit's here.
Oh, I'm trying to think. I can't remember the name right now.
It's okay. Shannon should remember. You know, also Shannon, I think she had sex with Brian Enton in the bathroom because they walked out of the family bathroom at the same time. But don't tell anyone, okay?
Oh my.
Well, she's a dirty girl. She's a dirty girl.
Zero. Not one scintilla of evidence of sepsis or any other infectious process in Corey's autopsy.
The second week of testimony in Christopher Greger's murder trial.
Okay. I will. Let's talk about that, Rebecca.
Uh-huh.
If your child has sepsis, you wouldn't be talking to a girlfriend and wondering about what pizza you're going to get.
No.
And I can stop the show right now.
No, I'm fine. We know that Corey went home to Chris that morning in one piece, but that's not how it ended.
Have you seen True Crime Beats coverage of your grandson?
I think I might have. I'm not 100% sure.
Can someone drop her link? She can do it herself. She's a moderator. Mindy, are you ready to come up? Hey, Radio Gods.
Ends with a bang. A forensic pathologist ruling out a defense claim that Corey Michelow died from sepsis.
What were your immediate observations of Corey's condition in room 6 at the emergency room?
Corey was very lethargic, pale. He was very sick.
I'm laying out what happened in week 2 of Christopher Greger's trial. Thanks for joining me for Crime Fix. I'm Anjanette Levy. Corey Michelow was an adorable 6-year-old boy. He died on April 2nd of 2021 after his father, Christopher Greger, showed up at the emergency room at Southern Orange County Medical Center. Surveillance video showed Christopher Greger carrying Corey into the ER. Lindsay Carnival was one of the nurses on duty that day, and she was assigned to take care of Corey.
Who brought Corey into the emergency room that day?
His father.
When Corey was admitted into the emergency room, what room was he taken to?
In room 6.
What nurse brought Corey to room 6?
Bill Doyle.
Were you Corey's assigned nurse on April 2nd, 2021?
I was.
Where did you first observe Corey in the emergency room?
In room 6.
Was Corey's father inside room 6 when you first saw Corey?
Yes.
Did you speak to Corey's father?
Yes.
Did you learn his name?
Yes.
What was Corey's father's name?
Chris Greger.
What were your immediate observations of Corey's condition in room 6 at the emergency room?
Corey was very lethargic, pale. He was very sick.
Were vital signs taken?
His temperature was 96 to 9, I believe.
And what about blood? Was that?
True Crime Beat said, this woman made me sad. She was such a good nurse. Well, we have Mindy backstage. Can everyone give her a round of applause? Well, hello, Mindy. How are you?
I'm okay. How are you? I'm going to see if I can mute my camera.
You can do what?
Mute my camera.
Oh, do you want me to come on camera? You'll love this.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God.
I don't know why my camera didn't, my avatar didn't come on, Rebecca.
That's okay.
Okay.
Let's see, how do I do this? Look at me right now. I have Band-Aids all over my face. I've been stung by sweat bees.
Oh.
I know.
Gotcha.
I've got a big one right there, right between my eyes and right here. And they
can't see from here.
Okay, well, we'll just keep going like this.
Well, you're beautiful to me anyway.
I need to put some lipstick on. Shut up, True Crime Beat. She said, oh my God, Brooks, calm down. Calm down, True Crime Beat. I'm still sexy in my own way.
Dawn?
Yes.
Corey's body temperature was lower than you would expect at 96.9 degrees. Carnival answered questions about Chris Greger's demeanor that day and the condition of Corey's body.
What was the
Sexy, and I know it. Where is Angel P? I need to ask her something. Yonka said, ouch. They could be yellow jackets because I was cleaning out the back shed. And yeah, I just say sweat bee because it's a common term. Angel P, can you grab the link? I want to ask about the temperature. T-Walk, what did you get stung by? I'm going to assume it was wasps because there was a ton of them. And I look like the Elephant Man. I mean, seriously, look at me.
I'm so sorry. Wow.
I know, look at that. But I mean, I still have great hair and I got cute glasses that Aggie got me.
That's what I see. I don't have my glasses on because I can't see and read close up with my glasses.
Angel P, what is up?
Hey, girl, just sitting here looking at Bruno, staring at me, watching the show.
He's a star, I tell you what.
I know. I heard that. He knows it in his own mind.
So I just made a baking soda paste to put on the stings. And
Yeah.
that's pretty much it. And I covered them up. But the show's not about me. But again, I look like Tom Hanks in Philadelphia. So
Well, I can't see that good, but I'm thinking it was something besides a sweat bay for you to have that kind of reaction. But that's just me.
that's okay. That's okay. I need to put some lipstick on. We'll do that right now. Then I'll just.
You're asking about the low body temp.
Yes, I need to hear more about that.
Oh God. Okay. Well, I'm going to explain to you that when my mother was dying, she had hemorrhaged, her colon had ruptured.
Oh my gosh.
And one of the first things that happened was she went into hypothermia. Her body temperature was so low that when she got to the ER, they had to put warming stuff on her and infuse warm saline. So what that tells me is because his core body temperature was low, that he was already deathly sick, waiting for a cascade of events to occur, ending in, death. You have to be, for your body temperature to be that low, that's not good. Your major systems are messing up.
Okay, so you've been an ER nurse before too, Ange. So now, what would be your protocol? And I think this nurse did a great job. Again, don't pay attention to the Elephant Man up here. Okay, my goodness, what would be your protocol, Ange, when someone comes in, child, adult, whatever, with a low body temperature?
Well, you got to warm them up ASAP.
Okay, and how do you that?
You got to start an IV. You got to warm your saline. You got to warm perhaps lactated ringers. There's all different solutions that go into IVs that, you know, some of them just give you more fluid. Some of them give you more components of your blood that you're running low on. You would put warming blankets on them. And to be honest with you, I'd go ahead and call a social worker. Because I would for a consult, because I would say there's something wrong with this child to be, you know, in this type of shape. Red flags.
Especially a child.
Absolutely.
T-Walk said, yikes, that is awful. It's because you are sweet like honey, I guess, Brooks. No, it's because I slept with the wasps, okay? I threw some lighter fluid into their nest, and I'm fucked, okay? So let's not worry about my face. I mean, I'm going to check myself into the circus, and I'm going to look like Candace Wells. Now, let's get back to the show.
Regardless of whether Chris told the people of how sick he was, you know, we hear that, or how sick he was or wasn't. We hear that, but we don't go by that. We have to do our own assessment.
Yeah, he was hiding. I mean, according to like the testimony, he was sort of concealing his face and his body a little bit in the ER when he first approached the initial, when he first came into the ER.
Yeah. He was probably acting like, I don't know what's going on.
Right.
You know.
And he was holding him up and he was supporting him. And then the nurse realized he was almost limp. But Christopher was like holding him up like he wasn't. And he was like hiding his face. And
oh, wow.
Yeah, you have to see that part, right? Rebecca, do you remember that?
Yeah, you know, Chris kind of walked in like it wasn't a true emergency, but honestly, he could have ran through those doors. It was too late by the time he took him there.
I agree with that, Rebecca, because of that body temperature and other things. Exactly. He didn't just get that way on the way to the hospital. Mm-mm.
He was already dying before he brought him in.
Yeah.
Yeah. He sat for hours at the apartment, you know, so I'm sure the abuse and the killing occurred in the morning, and then he just sat and he just suffered like all day. So yeah, Rebecca, your instincts are probably right.
Yeah, that just breaks my heart. I can't, y'all.
Too bad Rebecca didn't get to use her instincts because nobody called her.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody called Bree. He was
Mm-mm.
left alone in the ER.
Mm.
And he took off running, and he had to get chased down like the coward and the fool that he is.
Exactly. And Alcoa police in Tennessee caught his ass. Thank you.
You're right. Oh
Yep.
my.
Yep.
How close was he to the border? Do you know? Would they mention that?
Mexico?
Yes.
Oh, well, Lord, he was caught in Tennessee.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? I mean, let's just look at Memphis to
that was brought up.
Nueva.
Specifically East Tennessee. I don't know where he was headed.
Let's see. Okay. Oh my gosh. That's. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Okay. Flying, bus. Okay. I'm just gonna put driving.
And Alcoa is where the airport is too, by the way.
Let's see. That would be. Okay. Google is thinking. I hate Google, but that's okay. That would be 885 miles.
Wow.
Wow. I thought he was closer, Rebecca. Do you remember hearing
I
something
believe
about?
at one point before he picked up his whore at the airport that he was closer to the border, and they
Yes.
believed that's where he was headed. And I think the girl convinced him to let her fly there or something. So that's what I believe.
Rebecca, does it sound familiar? Rebecca, does it sound familiar that he was closer to the border, right? And that he spoke to his dad, and his dad talked him into turning around, or then he spoke to that girl and he made arrangements to meet the girl?
Yeah, I don't know in what order it happened.
Right. I don't know, but I don't remember whether David, he spoke with his dad or who talked him into coming back.
Yeah, my opinion is his dad didn't talk him into anything. His dad's the reason why he ran.
Oh, he was afraid of his dad?
No.
No.
Oh.
He was afraid of Rebecca.
His father, this is my version of what happened. David Gregor told Chris, get out of there because they're going to be calling the cops. Because 6-year-olds don't just drop dead. So I think David Gregor is a big reason why Chris ended up in Tennessee. And nobody's ever going to make me believe otherwise.
They did have a long conversation on the phone before he left the hospital. And that's when, you know, he spoke to his mother, he talked to his father, and that he testified about that phone call. But
yeah, but I don't believe that phone call. I believe he spoke to his mother because I think she's more of an enabler than his father.
Oh, she sure is.
Yeah, and so he got the hell out of Dodge. So I just want to ask everyone in chat, what do you think Christopher Gregor's appeal is going to be? Now, we know dirty things happen in the prison system. There's all kinds of contraband, and contraband can be an ink pen or a McDonald's cheeseburger. What do you think the appeal is going to be? It can't be inept counsel, and I'll tell you why. Because his father paid for the attorney. And that dude is not giving one dime back. And from what I see, he is still attorney of record. So is it going to be taking a page from the Adam Montgomery? Or what is it going to be? What do you think, And? We've been talking about this a lot.
What do I think? I think this whole family just cares about their self-image and what people think about them, and they lie to maintain whatever it is. Just the thought of him not only doing what he did, but then leaving that little boy there by himself, that makes me so mad. I just want to chain him up to the back of a car and let him run down the road. I'm sorry.
My God, you're so violent. Dear
I know
God.
I am.
I'm telling you. Like we're going through this right now with Carmelo Anthony. And his appeal has to be a jury that was not of his peers. No. High school students don't get to be on the jury. That is it. And I will only have respect for the system in New Jersey when they wrangle up every damn social worker that looked at Corey as a folder on their desk.
They're still employed.
Oh my God.
They might not be actively employed. I mean, actively having cases, but I don't believe they were fired.
Appeals are automatically granted. They are. And I mean, sometimes the criminal doesn't even know. Like, they don't even know that their appeal's going through. It's just part of the system. I mean, Adam Teardrop, he is not actively taking care of his case. He's just glad that he's not getting fucked by a plunger and have his head in a toilet full of poop.
He's got no protection, right? He doesn't have any law enforcement like Chris
No,
Gregor. Theirs were they
what do you
differ.
mean law enforcement? Corrections officers? Are you kidding me? All they do is walk around and try to be badasses, and they're dealing with people that have killed people. And so they moved him to Virginia, and so basically he likes it better there. What did Paper Cut do? Hang on.
Was answering a question from the chat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What did Paper Cut say? I don't know. All right, we'll get back to it. Oh, is this the boy from the treadmill? Yeah, but he's more than that. You want to answer that, Rebecca?
Yeah, I mean, I hate that title, and that's what I guess the case was labeled. I guess I get it, but it's Corey. that didn't define him, definitely. That's not how I want him to be remembered. I know it's hard not to think of him that way, but yeah, he was a normal, happy kid until Chris came around. And, you know, it's just hard to, I hate that, you know, that's
okay. I mean, this person meant nothing personal by it. When people follow true crime and they will say things like, is this, like they get confused. And that, I don't believe it was meant to be insulting.
Oh, no. I know it wasn't.
Yeah, I think that, you know, there's like
hang on. Let me let Rebecca answer, because Linda's a very, very nice woman and she feels bad now. So,
no, it's okay. I know that you didn't mean anything, Linda. I know. I just say I hate hearing it referred, or Corey referred to, you know, it's just horrible because, you know, it's just unfortunate. That's how he'll be remembered, like as the kid on the treadmill, you know, but we have Chris Gregor to thank for that, I guess, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's how he's remembered.
Everyone, welcome. Okay, Linda said, thank you for forgiveness. And you know, that's an amazing thing. Some people don't understand forgiveness. They don't understand getting over things. And now Rebecca will say that she is not forgiving Christopher Gregor. By the way, Paper Slut, I made you a moderator. And so can we all please, because I mean, he controlled that whole situation and I think it's great. So Paper Slut, guess what? You're a moderator.
Well, our only male.
You know, we've had another one, but he was schizophrenic. Okay.
The defendant's demeanor.
He showed lack of emotion, kind of emotionless.
While you were in room 6, who else was present in the room?
Dr. Pichotti and other nursing staff.
And what about Nurse Doyle?
Yes.
And did he stay in the whole room or did he leave?
He left.
And when you observed Corey in room 6, did you see any bruising on his body?
Yes, we did.
Can you tell the jurors what bruising you observed?
I observed a bruise on his chest, a bruise under his chin, and one on his temple, his left side temple.
While you were in room 6, did medical staff speak to the defendant about a case history relating to Corey?
Yes, we did.
And what did the defendant say about the bruising?
He said the bruising was from Corey playing football and riding his bicycle.
What did the defendant say about Corey's mother?
That she was a drug addict.
What did the defendant say about...
Why would he say that?
Because
I had to take my son to the hospital in an ambulance when he broke his hip. He had something almost like an eggshell inside of his hip. He had a football injury. He had to have a plate put in his, and then he had to have it taken out the next year. He had screws and everything. He was in a wheelchair. Yes, he had bruising, but for him to say, oh no, his mother's a drug addict. He was trying to blame Bree.
Right.
Just Adam was trying to blame Crystal.
Right. Always building a defense.
Look at his nasty ass face.
I'd rather be a drug addict as a nasty piece of shit who did what he did.
For real. For real. Thank you for that, True Crime Beat. And you can go to the very beginning and you can see my early interviews with Bree and Rebecca. And True Crime Beat, I asked for you to put yours in. I agree with you, Sanja. He is vile. Look at his face. Look at that. His old wrinkled up forehead looks like a 80-year-old man's ball sack. like he's like looking like, oh my gosh, how dare you say that? How dare you say that? Oh, she's a drug addict. Who's bothering me? Okay.
Contacting Corey's mother at that time.
He said that he did not want her contacted.
And what did the defendant say about Corey being at Jersey Shore Medical Center?
That his mom had him there the night before.
What did the defendant say about Corey's symptoms before he was brought into the emergency room?
That he had been vomiting and he was complaining of light and body pain.
Now, the jury had heard from Corey's mother, Brianna Michelo, earlier in the trial. In treating Corey, Lindsay Carnival described what she did and how Corey responded to the treatment.
What was Corey's condition?
Corey was very sick. He mumbled a couple words to me. He seized.
Can you tell the jurors what happened regarding Corey's treatment at the emergency room and his condition?
Corey seized, and then his heart stopped. He had stopped breathing. So we initiated CPR. Dr. Pachati intubated him, where he put a tube in his trachea and into his lungs, and ventilation was provided along with CPR.
After that, Carnival said they attempted to take Corey for a CAT scan, but they lost his pulse. She described taking him back to the emergency room.
Corey was not breathing. His heart was not beating. He was basically dead at that point.
Did the defendant then re-enter the room at Soch?
No.
At approximately 4:51.
Okay, watch his face. Now remember, this is the face of a rapist, a child abuser, and a murderer. He acts like he can't be bothered with his own information. And now the appellate court gets him, and guess what? He doesn't get to be there because it's not a parole hearing. And all they can do is comb through to see if there is some kind of technicality. He never took the stand in his own defense. Why do you think that is, Ange?
I don't think he had a defense. I think it was quite horrible, obviously, to see a child brought in that condition. And I would just be highly suspect of the whole 9 yards. I just can't imagine this. This is heartbreaking.
True Crime Beat said because he is just evil. And that is true. And by the way, everything on this channel is alleged unless it's been proven in a court of law. And the gavel went down on Christopher Greger and Adam Montgomery, and it proved to society and to their local communities that they were living amongst scum. Total scum.
Did the defendant re-enter the room at Soch?
He did at that point, yes.
And were you present at that point inside of room 6 with Corey?
Yes, I was.
And what was Corey's condition at that time?
His heart was not beating and he was not breathing.
Did the defendant exit room 6?
He did.
And did the defendant then ever come back to room 6 again?
No, he did not.
And who stayed with Corey?
We did. We were the only ones with him.
What time was Corey pronounced?
5:03 p.m.
And were you present in the room?
I was.
So you heard Lindsay Carnival say that Chris Greger was not in the room when Corey died. He left the room. Only medical personnel were with him. The prosecutor played a clip of surveillance footage that showed a nurse and Chris Greger leaving room 6 where Corey was being treated.
Okay, True Crime Beat can testify on this. Anjanette Levy is not a very nice woman. Okay, she's not. I have met several of these people at CrimeCon, and I cannot wait to go next year And I really want to get a spot for Rebecca to talk about what happened to Corey. And that will actually be like a side note, which sucks. That sucks. But it will be about the appellate court and the justice system. And look at you go. Hippie Hut member for 29 months.
You know, just the fact that he left like that, to me, just validates everything that Rebecca and Bree were saying about how much he really doesn't care. He's just doing it to be an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I mean, that's just inhumane behavior. I don't understand that at all.
Yep. He is nothing more than a rapist, convicted murderer, well, manslaughter, and child abuser. So everyone put in chat, what do you think his appeal is going to be about? Because obviously it's in some sort of secret envelope that no one's supposed to not know. However, I mean, they do have victims advocates that could reach out, but I don't think the appellate court's going to tell them.
Yeah, no, it's definitely sealed.
Mindy said appeal is same as Adams. What does that mean?
I think it's going to be on the same basis as that Adams' appeal is based on, which is that they didn't separate the charges. The manslaughter versus the child abuse.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, Adam Montgomery got second-degree murder, and
Right.
the technicality was not separating the child abuse from it.
What was it? I'm sorry, I thought that was part of it. That they didn't that they should have not allowed
What I said.
the prior acts in.
That's not what I said. That's not what I said.
Oh.
Second-degree murder was not separated from the child abuse. To me, it's a precursor.
Right.
And the problem is they're going to have to rely on Kayla and all those scumbags' testimonies again. But in New Hampshire, since the case is still open and they're still looking actively for Harmony, it could turn into first-degree murder. I thought you were looking for this for me, Mindy. In New Jersey, now when someone is retried, let's just say that's going to happen. Nobody knows. Only speculating. Can he get a higher charge?
Okay, what I believe is that it's game on. Okay, I think Rebecca and I discussed this briefly, Rebecca. If you remember, we talked about, is it going to be the same trial, the same defense? You know, it is absolutely going to be a brand new everything.
That's if he gets a new trial. I'm saying let's go. Okay, let's go like step by step. Okay, I don't want to hurt Rebecca anymore. She lives with this every day. So let's start with the appellate court. Let's say they find a technicality.
Mm-hmm.
And they decide, no, he needs a new trial.
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously all the witnesses have to live through it again. I'm asking, in the state of New Jersey, can they up the ante? Can it go?
If there's new evidence.
I'm still talking. Can they up the ante from manslaughter to second to first? That's all I'm asking.
If there's new evidence, if there's new information that reveals if there's an intent to harm, then yes, they could increase charges.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Mindy. Everyone give a round of applause to Mindy.
Treated. Another video clip showed Gregor being led to a chair, looking upset and distraught, and then going back into the room. Gregor eventually leaves the room, and you can tell he's very upset. He leans over a chair, looking distraught. Carnival said Gregor never went back into the room where Corey was being treated, as nurses and doctors tried to save his life to no avail. The defense maintains that Corey died of sepsis, that's an infection in the blood. On cross-examination, Gregor's attorney questioned Carnival specifically about Corey's.
Okay, we have a nurse on here who's going to answer this. Now, obviously, you were in the courtroom, Mindy, but you weren't on the jury.
Correct.
What would it take to show intent?
Well, I think that picture on the treadmill is intent. I mean, dear God.
What about, Rebecca, can I show the video again?
Sure.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
The pictures are the intent.
Yes. I mean, that's a horrible bruise on his abdomen. It really is.
The first time I showed that to you, Ange, and that was years ago,
Mm-hmm.
that has got to be up in his liver. And when it came up, Rebecca, am I okay speaking this way?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Go ahead and tell me what you said, Ange, about his liver.
Damn, I don't even remember, girl. But I think he must have had a blunt force injury or, you know, something that did affect his liver because of the bruising.
Well,
I can't remember if I had a genius thought. I was trying to think, but I mean, he had internal injuries from this stuff, and he kept having signs that, you know, bruising and stuff. I mean, I just don't get it.
okay, we lost Rebecca. This is horrible. I knew I did too much. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it.
She say goodbye. Maybe it's her internet.
Okay, let's look at this, Ange.
Oh, yeah.
Anatomic diagnosis. Can you see that, Ange? Can you explain that to everyone?
Multiple contusions with different stages of duration. Contusion is another word for a bruise. Epicardial contusion is literally a bruise on the epicardial sac that surrounds the heart. And you can see that he had a laceration in his myocardium muscle with acute inflammatory reaction. Small superficial laceration of the liver with inflammatory reaction and evidence of sepsis. Visceral congestion. So yeah, I do believe all that. I remember now there was an argument about whether he had the sepsis or not, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
The defense was that he had sepsis or that's what he died from, but that's not what he died from. And also the treadmill incident was separate than the killing incident and the beating incident. So there was two separate incidents. The autopsy that
Mindy, don't you think it's intent when a child has been harmed over and over and over and over and over? In New Hampshire, they called it intent, and that's the reason Adam Montgomery got second-degree murder. The reason he didn't get first is because they don't have Harmony's body.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. In New Jersey, I think intent is different. I'm looking it up real quick. I mean,
I don't need you to Google it. I'm good.
Yeah, but I think in New Jersey, intent
Oxygen level when he arrived at the hospital.
Yes, the initial one says 85%.
Oh my God.
What's normal?
92 to 100.
So he's 7 percentage points lower than what's normal, right?
Correct.
Okay, so that's consistent with the child being short of breath, right?
Not necessarily. Could have not been on his finger correctly or not recording correctly, which happens often.
Okay, well, you're the nurse, right?
Mhm.
Did you check to see if that was going on?
We were more worried about him and keeping him alive, and he was very lethargic.
Well, lethargic.
Mhm.
and loopy, would that be a condition of a low oxygen level?
Yeah, hypoxic.
Okay, so if he was hypoxic, that would be a concern of yours, am I right?
Of course.
Okay, if he's loopy and tired and has shortness of breath, and you see there's a low oxygen level, is that an indication that you put the thing on wrong? Or the thing is telling you, the, whatever you call it, is telling you that the oxygen is low?
Corey wasn't short of breath. He wasn't struggling to breathe when he came in.
But he was loopy.
He was lethargic.
Lethargic, and that's a sign of low oxygen, am I right?
It could be.
Okay, so you're getting a low oxygen level, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Shallow breathing can be a sign of sepsis in children, so the defense is really trying to make a point here. The defense also questioned Carnival about Gregor leaving the room.
So you're saying that he was escorted out of the room because he wanted to get escorted out of the room?
I can't answer that. I don't know. I was paying attention to Corey.
Okay, so if you're paying attention to Corey, how would you know he was under emotion?
Because I saw him the second time he came in.
So you're looking at him, not paying attention to Corey, or you're not looking at him and paying attention to Corey?
Both.
You're doing both?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you're saying that he was escorted out of the room, you don't know if he was escorted out of the room because he wanted to leave the room, or because he was escorted out of the room because you were performing life-saving techniques?
I don't know why he was escorted.
But was he brought to a waiting room?
I'm assuming yes. He was.
Or is there a waiting room in Southern Ocean Medical Center?
There's multiple.
Okay. Is there a waiting room outside the pediatric unit or wherever we were where room 6 was?
He went to the family waiting room.
Okay. So if this is the bed that Corey's in, where are you?
Right.
Mindy, I've never heard the jury say anything. Did they speak out? Did they give an interview?
Oh, no, I actually, just observations. I was there every day, and someone commented in the chat that the attorney annoyed them the whole time. He actually was very, very, very assertive and aggressive, and was very mean to like witnesses, you know, and to, you know, no one.
Because if the jury hated the attorney, that will definitely overturn the trial.
Oh no! I mean, when you no, there's nothing said. They never said anything. I'm just saying that everyone,
It's your
just like the
observation.
attorney.
It's
Yeah, just like whoever watched the trial would see why. He actually startled me a couple of times where like I got like he would raise his voice. I don't know whoever commented in the chat, but he would raise his voice. You know,
Sure,
he
that's
would get
what attorneys do. They're doing their job. Everyone has a job to do, and that was his job.
Well, there's also, you know, killing with kindness also, you know, there's another way to handle things maybe.
Yeah, I know, but
don't know.
criminals don't, they don't go for that. And if he had any salt on his stick, he would have put Christopher Gregor on the stand to be proud. And he didn't.
So he's
But-
too chicken shit to speak for himself. Sorry.
No, you're exactly right.
Next to the bed.
Okay, so you're here. Where's the doorway?
That way.
How far?
A couple feet.
By their desk or closer to their desk?
Closer to their desk.
Okay. Is that right?
I guess, yeah.
And you're not able to say if it was done manually or automatically.
It depends on when it was deleted. So again, if the system states messages are retained forever and they're missing, it would be indicative that it was deleted manually. If it goes back for 30 days and records in those 30 days are missing.
Can a moderator in here, like Paper Slut or Gaelic, delete that comment by Mindy? Because we can't have that floating around saying the jury hated the attorney. That shows bias, and that will get him a new trial. I'm sorry, Mindy.
Yeah, that's fine, but that's not, when I said that, it's basically.
It's okay.
that's
It's okay.
my opinion. It's, no one's ever been interviewed. None of the juries ever come out and done any interviews with any local reporters, TV. They were extremely professional. They were just, you know, followed every rule.
Because next to military and voting and doing jury duty, I mean, I'm telling you, I mean, jurors have hell to go through.
Yeah, they are committed to their role.
And so we can't have that hanging out in the universe that the jury hated the attorney.
Well, I should have said, like, people like that I spoke to noticed behaviors of the attorney that were very unappealing.
Their opinion, that's not the jury's opinion.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Again, it would be indicative that it was deleted manually.
But here you can't say what.
For this, I mean, I can give you an approximation, but the exact date, time, no.
The jury also heard about Corey's autopsy. Dr. Thomas Andrew, a forensic pathologist, testified about Corey's cause and manner of death.
Corey Michelot died of blunt impact injury of the chest and abdomen.
Okay, blunt force trauma. Hello, Paper Cut. How are you doing?
Hello.
Say hey, hey, hey to our new moderator.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Sweet. Oh my gosh, you sound like an Old Spice commercial. Do you have a big one mustache?
Yeah, I get that a lot.
So now, I mean, do you see the similarities between Adam Montgomery and their personalities and Christopher Gregory?
Am I muted? I don't know how I'm doing this.
No, we can hear you.
Yeah, I can definitely see the similarities. The Chris is definitely like a raging narcissist. You can see that like instantly, and just the dismissiveness of everything. It's like the detached. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Sure can.
Yeah, the detachment, like instantaneous detachment. It's just a very weird thing to witness.
Yeah, and I will never understand why somebody who wants to defend themselves doesn't take the stand.
Yeah, it's almost like how you would expect someone to act that's like coming into a relationship with someone that has kids than someone that's their actual kid.
Yeah, this is, I mean, Corey is his child. And that is a totally different type of psychopath that hurts their own child.
Exactly.
Don't get me wrong. I mean, I gave my son some mental abuse today, but I mean, he's almost 32 years old. And that had to do with my granddaughter, you know, for something different else going on. But you have got to be kidding me. I mean, he basically wanted to extinguish something, and they would not talk about any sort of mental illness or mental anything with him because they can't.
Yeah, and it's like this, from what I was getting from him, was like he was projecting his own insecurities onto the kid, like what he wasn't able to do and what he couldn't do, or like what he subconsciously was self-conscious about, you know, like his own child, he was putting them to like a standard he wouldn't even be able to achieve.
His father did it to him. His father wanted him to be a New Jersey trooper, and he knew he didn't have the bones to do it. So what did he do? He went to college to become a teacher, and when he found out he was a father, he started beating the hell out of his son.
Yeah.
I can see it, and I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not a sociologist. I'm none of those things. I have 0 letters behind my name.
Well, I bet if they put him on the stand, that everybody would be able to see his detached, arrogant, cold attitude, perhaps. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I meant with that comment, like him saying I too much. They couldn't have that. It'd be like perfect representation of a narcissist. He can't stop talking about himself. He's throwing everybody else under the bus.
Exactly.
Well, and the thing is, if you put him on the stand, he would have to have some of Aunt Sherry's pink Depends because he would shit himself. In his life, he
could probably crack real quick too.
No, I'm telling you, that would be the first time in his life that he was called out for something that he did.
Mm-hmm.
Chris, to take off. Some of the testimony was very emotional. David Greger, who's retired from the New Jersey State Police, testified about meeting Corey for the very first time.
Did there come a time when now Corey Mitchell became part of the Greger family?
There did.
Okay. And do you recall when that was?
Corey's first visit was in the beginning of August of 2019.
He's a liar. Just gotta add that.
Who is?
Can I just say that?
David Greger? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Just gotta say that, and then I'm gonna stop.
V. Oakley, no, you're fine. V. Oakley has a question. Getting a bruise around the heart, how did that happen, Ange?
Well,
Is it-
severe blunt force trauma. I mean, think about him falling on that treadmill like he did. It's just too much. It takes, I mean, these are injuries, to be honest, that I have seen in automobile accidents where the laceration occurs to the liver, trauma occurs to the sacs that are around the heart. I mean, that had to be horrible for a young child to endure. I mean, he had to not just hit him, he had to, like, really punch him and or falling on that treadmill. I mean, that's just horrible.
There's some suspicions, that there were kicks, punches, etc.
Mhm.
And he had different stages of bruising, and that's what the treadmill was. Because that was days before this last, beating.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a visit for a couple hours. I remember it because Christopher went to pick him up. And it was a big day for us. It was my only grandson.
He's crying for himself.
He came for a couple-hour visit, and the preparation, everything at the house was about Corey. I remember going through I had 4 children, they all played sports, so I was going through all the old equipment now that the children were older and pulling out all kinds of balls and baseballs and footballs. And
He's crying more over what
So,
his dad is reminiscing about.
You
than-
remember, at that time,
It's crazy.
He's reminiscing about his family name going down the tubes.
Yeah.
you just
All right. So, has anyone in here ever punished their children?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Has anyone in here ever given your child a spanking? On the diaper, through the jeans, or, pulled them out of school and, said, no, we're not doing that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. Rebecca's internet went down.
That's what I thought. She's had problems before.
Thank you, Mindy. Let me try to call her again. I can put her on this way and she can talk in the background. I don't want her to miss this. See, I believe David Greger, and I don't give a shit. I don't give a rat's ass. Say rat's ass, Ange.
We don't give a rat's ass, do we, girl?
No, And I don't give a rat's ass. I really don't. I just don't. I don't. They treated this boy like a piece of equipment. Like he's in the family now, and you're just going to treat him the way I treated you. We're going to toughen him up. That comes with maturity. Okay?
Well, it's really too bad he wasn't focused on his own son instead.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I believe he missed a few things trying to raise him.
Well, he wanted him to be a trooper really bad, and he missed that mark.
Mm-hmm.
Paper slut. I'm sorry, paper cut. Have you ever had to discipline your child?
Yeah. He's actually a really good kid, but there's been a couple times. He broke a laptop one time, and then he threatened his bullies at school and got expelled. So that was a thing.
Okay. Yeah.
I didn't really discipline him over that one. I kind of told him to do that.
I was a real bitch when I used to pick my kids up from school when they got in trouble. I mean, I would yell at teachers and principals, knowing that my child did exactly what they did. We would go to Sonic down the street. We would, come home and make brownies and just have a calm down day. Because I know how school is. I was in school. But repeated behavior, I won't put up with. I just won't.
Yeah.
My son, Scott, he was in 3rd grade, and this big old fucking fat kid, I don't know how the hell you get that big when you're 8 years old. That dude was bigger than me. And he was picking on Scott, and Scott's a little thing. And his mother called me and said Scott broke his glasses. And I said, call lens crafters, not me. Are you kidding me? I said, you're calling me because your fat fucking kid got his glasses broke? So then we had to go to the principal's office, and I said, yeah, I said it. Is that horrible, Andy?
No, that's fine. I'm just picturing you busting in there like, yeah, I did it. And what?
Well, little Finn got in trouble one day at school in the 3rd grade. For taking up for his friend who was being bullied. And they took him to the office, and everything's on camera. And he's certainly my grandson because the teacher said, well, no, I don't think that happened, Finn. I think he blah, blah, blah. And Finn said, can we see the video evidence of that? But he did not get in trouble at home because I'm not going to punish him for taking up for his friends.
Well, you can't because you're his grandma. Punishments are for home, and as a grandma, you can't be the punishment. Now, my neighbor across the street, he gets in trouble quite a bit. He's a little guy, okay?
Mm-hmm.
He has done some things on the school bus he's not supposed to do, to the point where he had to have a lunch buddy, an adult, to sit with him in the lunchroom. So I don't know if you guys remember this. I didn't have shows in the afternoons for a while because I had to go and have lunch with him.
I remember that.
And so he's standing in line, and I'm bringing in McDonald's cheeseburgers and whatever. And I'm like, oh no, we're not doing this. Because he's small, okay? And he's got one of those Morgan Wallen mullets, which I told his dad not getting picked on.
God love it.
I said, let's sit down and let's eat. And he's like, hey guys, do you want any cheeseburgers or anything? And I'm like, no, you take those home. Those are the kids that picked on you. You let them sit right down there. I said, unless they want to apologize to you for picking on you, guess what they told me? That's not the way to do it. The fuck it isn't, because everything was fine. All right, let's get.
That he was your only grandchild at that time.
Yes.
Now, as you heard, Corey was David Greger's only grandson. Chris Greger's lawyer asked David Greger if he'd ever watched the treadmill video.
So now, from the moment you met Corey until the moment Christopher moved to Barnegat, did you ever see Christopher mistreat, abuse, or hit Corey?
Never.
Have you watched the treadmill video?
No.
Okay, why not?
He's a liar. He's lying on the stand under oath because he knew there was an issue on his treadmill between his pride and joy and his grandson. Do you remember that, Mindy?
Well, I just know in the DCP&P reports, they indicated that during some of the referrals that family members were interviewed and corroborated the explanations that were given for the abuse. And we now know that he was chronically abused. So he was abused all the referrals.
Okay, referral after referral after referral after referral.
11.
So, it's more than that. So when you are in the care of the CPS in New Jersey, is every child just a folder?
No, absolutely not. No.
I don't mean you and your work.
In my world, I went from caseworker knocking on doors to supervisor to manager and had units underneath me, and everyone in my world, yeah, they cared. And the ones that didn't, were monitored and they were dealt with. I didn't have anyone in my unit that wasn't capable. Actually, there was one time in Asbury Park, but she wasn't my worker. But I knew she was really bad, but she ended up leaving. She was so bad. Oh my gosh. She just did not get it. She was really bad. And you know what? A child did die.
And no one can perceive that notion, but I would think a social worker would always have it in the back of their mind.
I'm not sure she was a social worker. I don't know what her resume was, but I doubt she was a social worker back then. There were years that they didn't hire social workers. They would do related fields.
Oh my goodness. Then I'm just going to go be a fucking doctor tomorrow.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we wish that. Yeah.
I mean, you've got people that were driving cabs and suddenly they're social workers. You got to be crazy.
Not to digress, did you see this? It's a totally different topic, but the Uber changed their people, the rules about who they hire, and they allow, or they're more scrutinizing the people's records now, and they're adding people that have abused children and other things. I'm like, and they're going to go back farther than 7 years. So yeah, it doesn't surprise me that a Uber driver could masquerade as a social worker too.
Well, I tell you what, I won't shave my legs for 6 weeks and I'll start taking an Uber fucking everywhere and see what happens. All right, let's get to it.
Because I don't want to see. I don't want that to be my remembrance of Corey.
Liar.
And the Oscar goes to David Greger.
That he was mistreated in that single instance on the treadmill.
Greger testified that after Corey died, his family received threats almost immediately.
I was aware, people were sharing with me what was out there in terms of information being put out.
Well, did you see any of the information being?
I did.
What did you see? You physically see?
I saw numerous wanted for murder posters of my son.
So when you say a wanted for murder poster, what was the poster of?
It was a poster of Chris with wanted for murder.
Behind you.
Was it a picture of him?
It was.
And can you describe for us what that picture looked like?
The picture had the one that I saw had a jail bar superimposed in front of his face.
I love that
where
picture.
Where were these pictures located?
They were located on social media.
Were they located anywhere in your neighborhood?
There came a time where there was various postings put up in our neighborhood, on our neighbors' vehicles, and on the street lamps and poles surrounding my house.
Brooks, this is a decorated state trooper who was retired as a lieutenant, and the lieutenant is sort of high up there, and that's why he's called "quote unquote" decorated, because he made it from patrolman to sergeant, detective, whatever, lieutenant, and underneath the captain, whatever.
I totally understand what that means. And so boo-hoo that people
Boo-hoo.
were harassing him. Boo hoo. Then
He couldn't handle seeing that. He sounds like he's crying, and he couldn't watch the video. He was what did he experience on the road as a trooper? And he couldn't watch that video to see what the heck happened to his grandson, what his son did. I just find that so preposterous. And
It's
he
called
sounds like he's crying and weak.
denial. It's called denial. He doesn't want to admit that his gene pool is a freaking failure, and the one good one was murdered by his pride and joy. Am I off on this, Andy?
Nope,
No.
he seems a little ticked off of the exposure.
Very true. He's ticked off at the exposure, but he's trying to pretend he's weak and all sad,
Yeah.
and he's a state trooper. That's what I'm trying to
Like
point out.
the second the lawyer asks a question, he's very quick with his yes, I did, but then he goes into this. You can see him think for a second, and then they were on my neighbor's car, they were on this, they were that, and it's like, okay, he didn't ask like all those things, but you felt the need to like butter up the story a little bit on your end.
And
Yeah.
I mean, so they have things up saying that, they want justice for Corey. Shouldn't he be out there helping them too? That's his lineage. Corey is his grandchild. Should he not be side by side with all of them? Instead of remortgaging his house to find some screwy lawyer to represent his son?
Was that side of the family resentful of the fact that he had a kid?
I mean, I'm just going to go ahead and give my opinion and say, yeah, they expected Chris to have a child and have a big beautiful wedding and somewhere at a country club and that type of thing. They weren't expecting to have a grandchild that came out of a rape.
Exactly. You just said it, Brooks.
And they didn't want to do it. They did not want to do that. It's like one thing after another with Christopher Gregor, and it's gone on his entire life, probably since he was a young child.
Yes, definitely. He's getting into trouble. Yeah. And then lost jobs, got arrested, drugs, just crazy, creepy things happen. He's a creep. I won't go through his resume of his criminal history right now, okay?
And I mean, Christopher Gregor, the only thing they can find with him is oppositional defiant disorder. And it's something that's characterized when you're a child. Ange can explain it better. It's hostile behavior towards authority figures. And you can just do whatever you want to do. Ange, are you there?
I'm here, honey. I agree with that. And I also think that, for him, I don't know, I feel like this man only worries about the family image. And so if he looks at all of that, then he has to say, oh, wow, perhaps I'm responsible for the way my son turned out. So he can't go there.
Yeah.
Well, no shit. We all feel responsible for the way our kids turned out. But once they hit a certain age and they make certain decisions, we are not responsible. We know they went to church. We know they went to Bible school. We know that we helped them with their homework. We know that. David Gregor does not know that. He does not know that. Now, let's talk about this.
Okay.
Do you believe this, Ange? And I know, you're a psych nurse, okay? Do you honestly think that the oppositional defiant disorder is part of Christopher Gregor's problem?
No, that's a childhood disorder. Well, I don't know. Like, I guess what I'm trying to say is, you can be diagnosed as I lost you. Okay. Which kind of turns into almost like an antisocial, you know, in other words, whatever you want me to do, I'm going to do the opposite of it. You know, you want me to do my homework. I'm going to act like I'm doing my homework, but I'm not really going to do it because I'm going to be defiant to every rule, instruction, or feedback that you give me. I mean, I don't know that it's, I mean, just because somebody has ODD when they're a child, I don't think they would be this heinous. You know what I mean?
For real, I had ODD when I was in first grade and I got my ass whipped and I got over it real quick.
Yeah.
Don't do that at home.
Flipping out at the house.
And that's his mom. Okay.
Mm.
He's part of the problem. A big problem. Okay. I hold her more responsible than David Greger. And Rebecca and I can talk about that later.
And my son Danny's home, my youngest. And I'm screaming. He runs upstairs. What's going on? Thank God my husband came home very quickly after that. We got in the car and went down there.
Greger continued discussing the calls she received on the way to the hospital.
So we're calling Chris. Chris is, I was so worried because he just was so adamant that something happened when he was with his mother. Something happened to him. So I said, Chris, don't go there. Don't go to their house. Don't, just please wait for us. So we left.
This is before he flee the hospital. He had a conversation with them on the phone, I believe.
Exactly. And what I want to know is why they're crying for Chris and not their grandson.
Yeah, that would not be me. Mm-mm.
No.
Did
No
they
way.
ever interact with the grandson? Like, have him over, watch him?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Okay.
yeah. Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't remember.
They basically had joint custody. And, it was so bad one time. Mindy can explain it better until Rebecca comes back on.
It just seems like they're quite detached and focused on themselves more. It just seems like they just never saw the kid or something. But it's even more bizarre that they did.
Oh, I agree. Andy. Is it okay if I call you Andy on here? No one's going to get fussy. Okay.
I don't think Chris had ODD as a child. During the pre-sentencing, he denied any mental illness or any kind of issues that should be considered, in sentencing. And with the police officers, a dad, I believed it was maybe the opposite. He was forced to really be good, and there was consequences, or he would be beat. He was a bully. So I think
that's part of being ODD as a child, and it grows into other things.
Well, being a bully and ODD, may have other, behaviors, not the same, similar. There was maybe some similarities, but yeah. But you don't, yeah, ODD is but not towards authority. He listened to authority. I don't believe it was against authority.
He wasn't against authority. He didn't listen to his parents. He didn't listen to the law. He didn't listen to anybody in the hospital. The reason he left his son dying and he took off.
Oh yeah, as an adult. He's definitely acting out as an adult. But you're talking about childhood. I just said I don't think he was.
Yeah, I didn't know him as a child. He didn't kill anyone as a child, but he killed his son.
Right.
Am I going somewhere with this?
He's a Ted Bundy. He's a psychopath, and he's got underlying.
He was diagnosed as a psychopath. They already said that's the reason we have the FBI Behavioral Science Unit to study people like him. I hate to tell Christopher Greger, he's a garden variety narcissist, someone who is just way involved in themselves. He's not smart enough to be Bundy. He's not smart enough to be Dahmer. He's not smart enough to be Ed Gein.
He got caught so quick.
He is nothing in their caliber. No. Nothing. He is nothing like that.
He seems like every small accomplishment always got exaggerated, to kind of make up for the stuff that he hadn't done. So
that's exactly right.
he's really off-putting. Just even looking at him, you can just get the vibe that like, he's gonna come over and probably say something stupid, you know.
Right.
I wasn't on the stand, you know.
Right.
They took his dumbass to dinner for a purple ribbon to celebrate him when he was 11.
Oh my God. What were they celebrating? The fact that he could put his clothes on?
I don't know.
He was celebrating what when he was 11? Something.
He got a participation ribbon. I used to bring him home all the time, and my parents were like, "Oh, that is great. That is so great. So glad you participated." And it's like, it's meatloaf for dinner. Oh no, hell no! They would take his out and celebrate him.
I remember a team going out together, whether they won or lost, but you know what I mean? Not to celebrate a victory on a participation award. That's ridiculous.
Just like I never paid my kids for good grades. Do you do that, Andy?
No.
I never paid my kids for good grades, but I told them they cannot get below a B. They knew, and they did. Occasionally they got a C, but I told them you're not allowed to get below a B. And I think they
I
you know,
homeschool
tried.
now too, so it's like way easier to control everything.
Yeah.
You know, and some parents think it's easier to control kids with prizes and things like that. Hey, listen, you don't got to be a bastard to your kids. That is it. But you can see where this went.
Oh, the bite on the head on the treadmill.
Ilyanka said, what? He did his homework. No, he came in 10th in track. He pulled a
10 out of 10.
Yeah, he did. He pulled a hamstring or something. And they were like, but at least you tried. And they had a celebration. Listen, that's fine. No one expected him to be a track star. That's insane. That's nuts. Okay. My son got into trouble in the cafeteria because he was fighting with people, and I had to, do some things, and sit with him and stuff like that. And then he brought home a certificate saying that he had great discipline in the cafeteria. And I'm like, well, my goodness, they printed this for you and everything. I said, so what's going on? He goes, it was chicken day. And I'm like, well, my goodness. Well, guess what? We did not go out and celebrate. It's what you're supposed to do. Positive reinforcement is absolutely fine, but rewarding bad behavior never has worked for me.
As we're driving, my son calls me.
Oh my God.
Daniel, my youngest, he was home by himself. I don't know how long after this was. He calls me. He's getting phone calls at the house. On our house phone. Threats. People are, your brother's a murderer. This was like, it was ridiculous how quickly.
So when you talk about how quickly, I'm trying to develop a time frame.
Yeah.
Were you and Mr. Greger in the vehicle that you were driving to Southern Ocean Methodist when you see that call?
Yeah, I believe so. It's like the whole thing was such.
Aggie said, I love your glasses, Brooks. Yes, they were given to me by Aggie for my birthday.
Oh, nice.
Ooh, I know. Let's do a round of applause for Aggie. Now, if someone can send me some calamine lotion for my elephant looking face, that'd be great. No, I've got some. I'm just
we were devastated. We're crying in the car. We're calling the police in the car because no one was there. There was no police, nobody. So we're calling the police. We're trying to find out what's going on. At some point, we get to the hospital and no. And Danny calls us again. Rebecca was at the house and she was making threats. I just said, go in the house. Just lock the doors, go in the house, just stay in the house.
The judge then questioned Carolyn Greger about the threats and what they said Brianna Michelow had done.
So, ma'am, I have a couple things to ask you to clarify. Danny's calling you while you and your husband are on the way to Southern Ocean County, all right?
Yes,
And then Danny later calls you again that same night and tell you that Rebecca Michelow showed up at the house.
yes,
And you're saying that she's making threats.
yes.
Except what you're really saying is she's saying Chris was going to be charged with murder, right?
And she was saying things along the line, and I'm paraphrasing, that you people are going to.
Oh, shut STFU.
Jesus Christ, I'm so mad. They are not the victims.
I know,
Who
that's
cares?
crying and took my camera off.
Whoop-de big old do.
I'm
Brooke,
sorry.
I have to tell you,
I didn't mean to break down on everybody and show all my scars from cleaning out a wasp nest. I'm just saying, I am PO'd.
you know, Brooks, I got to share with you and share with the chat that, you know, this is her testimony for, she was not allowed to give this testimony, okay? This was because she got caught. She's an enabler. And she and Chris Greger got caught on jailhouse audio, you know, phone call, you know, sort of talking about her testimony. So it came out, and she was not allowed to testify in the trial. So the jury did not hear she was not allowed to testify. So this is just before the judge and the courtroom. Jury was not in. And it shows you, you know, she was talking to Chris about her testimony. They were sort of planning and, you know, what she was going to say. And I don't remember the details exactly, but yes. So as you listen to this, just realize that night, you know, that she had talked to Chris while he's in jail about her testimony. So.
Fucking losers.
I love them.
Watch it and just crazy stuff, saying crazy stuff like that.
And was there a threat to burn down your house?
No,
Or to assault you?
no,
Assault your husband?
not directly, no.
And the wanted posters are that he's wanted for murder.
Yes,
The judge determined the only information about the threats that the jury could hear would be threats that Chris might be arrested and charged with murder. The state just has one last witness, but that witness will be called out of order on May 22nd and then rest. The defense will start calling witnesses next week. And the final defense witness will be renowned forensic pathologist Dr. Michael Baden, who will offer his opinion about Corey's death, which will differ from the pathologist's opinion. And that's it for this episode of Crime Fix.
And that guy is a loser and a half.
Yeah, that was the defense's medical guy, right?
Absolute loser.
Yeah.
I saw him at CrimeCon. I sent Rebecca a message, and she was just like, well, go talk to him, see what happens.
Really? And was he coherent?
Coherent? I wasn't, because I had 3 Bloody Marys, but I mean, I still got him on camera. I have a members live about it.
He performed very poorly. And I think that his career is probably over, and I don't know if he's going to get another job after this trial.
What do you mean? He's had 3 different expert testimonies since.
Has he really, Bogdan?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow, I'm surprised. He was
Never once has he ever testified. Never once has he ever testified for a victim. Never once.
Whoops, I'm not going to say anything. I hope they bring him back. I'm glad. He's wonderful. He's great. Bring him back.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to say. Let's all give a round of applause to Bob. He did great work, because I mean, he turned the jury right off. So let's do some closing thoughts. I'm going to start with Ange.
Closing thoughts on the whole situation.
Yeah, I mean, Adam, in Christopher Gregor and the appellate court and what they got going on.
Well, I just think it's really sad day in America when people like this get to have an appeal with the bizarre, devilish, vile, evil crap they have done. And we as taxpayers have to give them another chance. No, I think it's horrible. I think both of these men need to rot in hell. And Christopher Gregor, I can't stand him. That little boy is a beautiful child. Oh my God, it hurts my heart so much. And I don't care what happens to him. Maybe if he'd been held accountable when he was young, he wouldn't have behaved this way.
Well, and I know you stayed away from Corey's case because he looks so much like your little Finnegan.
Yeah, he did at the time. And that really broke my heart. It really did.
And when the closing arguments came through, I'm sorry, I mean, OJ, quit. OJ wants to be on camera. Get your fat ass down.
Like, do you really think that you parents being called names and people saying that your son's a murderer, which he is, that anybody gives a rat's ass based upon how your son treated this innocent child? Sorry.
No, but I know you told me I've got to stay away from this case. I can't look because he reminds me too much of Finn.
I know. I know.
Next, let's go to Paper Cut.
I just think, as far as like the appeals go and everything, you know, everybody's granted that.
Quit your shit, OJ. Damn it! Quit!
Whatever. But it just reminds me that, like, what is it, like 3 or 4 cases that you've covered recently, or of recent, that have all gone to the appeal and they were granted, kind of?
Yeah.
Trial or a new look through or whatever.
Yeah.
It just reminds me, like, when all these press conferences happen, they're telling them like they need to get a rock solid case and they can't give certain information out and they can't do this or that. Like, we get impatient sometimes because of, you know, we watch this stuff a lot, but it just reminds me, like, how, not to talk about a different case, but Leilani, you know, we're thinking nothing's being done and they got all this going on. And if, like, even a little bit of it would have leaked out, they couldn't have used it.
Yeah.
You know? So it just reminds me of how we need to be patient with people and let the process sometimes work out, even though the process sucks sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I agree with
you. If they go through and they don't find anything, like, you can't really tell them to go through it a third time and find something else, you know? Like, might be able to, I don't know.
No, I agree with that 100%. Okay, Mindy, you're up.
You're muted, honey.
It's sort of been a little bit emotional seeing some of the trial. I think, Brooks, you could tell I was getting a little pissed off at David and Chris and so on. It's been a little emotional. The thought of an appeal in Chris Gregor's case is actually scary and sort of like real right now, more real than it has been after, you know, this live. I do see some similarities between this case and Chris Gregor's case in that they have a mix of child abuse and a child is dead. And although they charged, you know, Chris Gregor was convicted of second-degree manslaughter, they just couldn't get the intent to keep it to murder. He was arrested for murder and it was downgraded. So, but I do see similarities. So I'm just nervous that if he got it, then maybe Chris may get the appeal and, you know, it would be a brand new trial and it would be, you know, horrific. However, you know, you learn and you're smarter the second time around, and they have a very, very strong case and they have amazing, amazing people on it. So I'm confident he would be convicted again.
Okay. Now, let me ask you something. Do you think that the Child Protective Services system failed Corey?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, absolutely. There's absolutely no doubt. I went through every referral that they have documented, not every call that Brianna made. There's a discrepancy. There's a big difference in what they're documenting officially. And I've gone through every referral, every error they've made. They did not do a safety assessment when they went out there properly. They didn't follow policy protocol. They didn't interview the child alone. I can list a lot, many of them. And in the Montgomery case, you know, the fact that they received referral of physical abuse with injuries and they never made contact with the child, and then they just let it go for 2 years, that's absolutely not allowed, okay? That is not allowed. And you don't just pass it off to detectives. You can, use them as a resource, call the police a resource. We have protocol checklists on if you have a missing child on your caseload, of course they could be gone or dead. We got to make sure and verify they're alive. So, and there's time frames. Like if there's time frames to respond. There's time frames to complete an investigation.
The caseload question.
Yeah.
Because if you have 4 houses on fire, no firefighter is going to say my caseload is too much.
Well, it's up to the supervisor to prioritize and make sure that someone's available to respond to each and every referral.
That's not what I said.
What'd you say?
I'm comparing apples to oranges.
Okay, so rephrase, say it again.
Okay. If a firefighter sees 4 houses on fire,
yes,
they don't wait on a supervisor. They put the fires out.
Yeah, or they have to call another house, another truck, and
okay, and that doesn't happen in CPS. All right,
it doesn't. It doesn't. Obviously, it did not happen in this case. Obviously, and it doesn't happen in a lot of cases.
Exactly.
So
people.
But I'm just letting you know what protocol is, not that it was followed.
Well, I tell you what, these people that are in the government or whatever, they need to take a whole new look at this stuff, because I'm going to tell you right now, since when I was working in the 90s on the child and adolescent unit and so on and so forth, I tell you right now, CPS has sucked. And no offense to you, Mindy, but CPS has actually sucked for a long time now. And this has been like since the 90s. And, something's got to change. If the children and the elderly are our most precious resources, then they shouldn't get this half-ass service. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I agree with you so much, Angel, and New Jersey got straightened out because we had deaths occur and we got sued by a child advocate's lawsuit, and they assigned a federal monitor to us, and the federal monitor came to visit us, and it was 10 years, 12 years of them monitoring us, and then the governor wanted the lawsuit dismissed, and it finally got dismissed. And now,
what's it matter? You're not a lawyer. Why would the governor tell you that he wants something dismissed?
Well, they got it dismissed, and now there's another group of individuals that are doing the monitoring, but it's not the same. A federal monitor is the only way. An oversight committee needs to be established over each state's DCP and
what are you talking about? We have an oversight committee in Oklahoma, and every state takes care of themselves. Why does anyone need an oversight committee when they don't know how to do their job? And I'm not talking about you. Blessed Mama 87. Why did the judge ask her about Bree? What does that matter? So what judge asked you about Bree?
The judge was talking about the threats, I think, right?
Oh, okay. That's fine. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to end on this. I am actually very happy that the appellate court is working. You know why? Because the lower courts get it wrong. So once it goes to a higher court, we're not playing frisbee golf. We're playing big boy golf. And even if they find a technicality or a mistake, there could be a higher charge. And that's the way the system works. What I don't like about it is that it puts the family through the pain again.
Oh, yeah. It's horrible.
However, I just don't think that Rebecca or Bree are going to be so upset if he's actually charged with murder this time.
That would be great.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, impress me. Brooks, next time you get stung by a bee or wasp, touch a spot. You want me to put WD-40 on my fucking face? I thought you were my friend.
I'd rather you put snuff than that.
Oh my gosh, and I've got tons of it. I love how it works. It doesn't work perfect. Okay? It doesn't. But if what you're saying, Mindy, is true, and he can actually get a higher charge, Bree will have to testify, and maybe this time Rebecca can tell her truth.
Yeah, I hope so.
And I hope that the caseworkers are brought to justice too, that just left Corey sitting in a manila folder and went and had break room parties celebrating birthdays.
Goodness.
And yes, my face is swollen from getting stung.
Wow. Oh
Boy,
my
it sure
God.
is.
I see it now.
Yeah, hush up.
Does it hurt much? Does it hurt much?
No.
Not anymore?
No, I just made a baking soda paste and it'll draw it out. It's okay. I'll tell you what, it would have been a viral video had I done it on my own when I was beating that shit down. But you don't ever take lighter fluid and go after wasps. Just don't do it. Don't do it.
I let them
No.
just exist. I leave them alone. Let them have their little. I don't bother with them. They don't bother me. I don't bother them. They need a place to live. Where was it in your house?
Oh, dear God, are you an environmentalist? No,
No, I'm not. I just don't want to mess with them.
I was trying to. Oh, V. Oakley said you don't need Botox now. No, I was trying to put the killer back. Got stung a million times. Shut up. You know what happens when I get Botox? I look like Spock. So yeah, I'm swollen like a motherfucker. It's okay. A lot of Benadryl, and here I'm trying to not drink, and Benadryl gets me drunk.
Yes, it makes you tired and drowsy.
Actually, no. It actually makes me very awake.
Really?
So, paper cut. If you met me, let's say at the Tulsa State Fair, would you be like, I'm going to take her on the Ferris wheel?
I'd wonder what happened to your face.
Oh, no.
I wouldn't say it out loud, but I'd be wondering it.
What a nice guy.
I know.
I'm just being honest.
Well, I tell you what, wait till my husband gets home because he's going to be all about this. He's got a lot of baking soda paste to put together, and he's going to have to take care of me. And he's the one that said, when I get home, I will take care of it. And it's okay. I'll do it. Anyway, here we are, and I'm ballooned out. Look at this. Ah!
Maybe he'll bring you home dinner, no cooking.
No. We have a big, I got to take enough Benadryl to get this taken care of, and then we're going to go out. I know he told me, he said, either way, I'm super proud of you. And I'm like, thank you. So anyway, thank you for being here today for Harmony and for Corey. Does everyone have a second to please remember the victims and not these stupid monsters that did what they did? All right, everyone, thank you so much for being here today. I want to give a very special shout out to Rebecca, who is Corey's grandma. Gma, yeah, who fights for every day. His mother, Bree, who's at work right now. But I mean, she was the first person that talked to me in regards to this case. And I didn't even have 1,000 people on my channel. And she was ready to rock and roll. Thank you to Mindy for coming up and telling us, you know, what she knows and what she thinks. Our nurse on demand all the time. And we'll be back tomorrow. You know it. And of course, hold on. Jean said mud pulls the stinger out, promise. Okay, I'm going to take a mud bath, okay? And I'll show you a picture, Jean. Oh my God. And thank you so much to our new moderator, A Fatal Paper Cut. And so glad that you guys were here. In my opinion, this show is one of the most important shows we've ever done. And my God, you are amazing. There probably wasn't much to do here because we all agree these people are scumbags. So I will see you guys back here tomorrow at 9 a.m. Who keeps telling me about mud? I got it. Okay, so I'll see you guys back here at 9 a.m. Central. Love you all.